This is the Honda 3.5 liter engine, and Honda Odyssey, Honda Pilot, Honda Accords, as well as Acura's MDX and other Acura lines has the same engine, 3.5 VTEC, same block. So you can apply the same repair to other vehicles too. Now this engine has a new timing belt, which is behind right under here. New timing belt, and after the timing belt, the vehicle ran fantastic, but it became sluggish, so it lacks power. Show you what are the things that can be wrong, or that can be cleaned or maintained. So under these spark plugs, we'll show you how to change the spark plugs, take them out, how to check if they're good or not by measuring their resistance. And this is the intake manifold. Under this is the intake manifold. We'll take that out and clean it. There's the throttle body is right here under this, and we'll open that as well to show you how to clean the throttle position sensor, throttle plate, as well as the idle air control valve and the passage for the airflow. The air filter has been replaced, not the original one here, but you can clean the air filter as well. The EGR valve is right here under this, so we may clean the EGR valve as well. We suspect the problem is the valve clearance, valve lash. Telltale sign: change the oil. We change the oil, and right after changing the oil gets dark again very quickly. That means there's the blow-by. Valves, probably intake valves, are not closing properly, so some of the air from the combustion chamber is coming to the going to the oil in the rockers head area, through their head area, so making the oils dirty. There is no coolant. The oil is clean enough now. We just changed it not long ago. There is no coolant oil mix, so filling the head gasket is just fine. Coolant here is absolutely clean. So let's get started. At the beginning, safety first. Disconnect the battery, negative battery terminal. So disconnect this. Disconnected the negative terminal and covered the terminal with this plastic cap to prevent accidental short, because this terminal keep coming this way, so just be careful, you don't want that. So take these 4 bolts off with 10mm. You don't need power tool, but if you have, it's faster. Take this off, take the cover off. So take it off nicely. There's the intake plenum. It's a flat head. Turn this. Take these bolts off, quite a few, number 10. Take this cover off. Then you will access the bolt, hold down bolt of for the intake plenum. Take the cover off carefully. It's a gasket here. You can reuse this. if it's not broken badly. You gotta make sure that these channels are all clean. There's a lot of carbon here, so just clean it thoroughly with carburetor cleaner. Look, this side, this edge, yeah, a lot of carbon. So right here, right here, we gotta clean all this. Lots of carbon, so take this off carefully. And be cleaning the throttle. Look how dirty it is. It's almost clogged. So now if you want to clean the throttle and the idle air control valves, air passage, as well as the intakes, air lines. So these are all clogged basically. Look, it's working at 30%, and the holes are, so definitely hold it there. Definitely, like this one is almost clogged. So this is all carbon. Really need to clean this, every hole, because these are the air passage to the cylinders, and it's not getting enough air, because it's all clogged. So is the other channels on top of this that I showed before, and look, it's all clogged up. Serious debris there. So we'll open this as well and then clean, but if you want to just clean from the top, you can do that too. Ideally, when it's this dirty, take it off. Take the plenum off and clean the whole intake manifold. Show you how. So this is the carb cleaner that will need to clean the, you can buy it at AutoZone or Canadian Tire kind of place. Okay, now take these few connectors off. This is the clip, press and pull, comes off, and loosen this hold down clamp. Take this off. You can loosen this way and pull it out. You have to open this throttle cable, which is, it slides from the side. This cable slides out from the side, pretty easy. Few cables and hoses at the bottom. Disconnect all this. This is the throttle position sensor. The throttle plate is right in there. This is the throttle position sensor. And I think this is the idle air control valve that or ISE motor controls how much air gonna be when the car is idling. So we'll open this now. We disconnected all the electrical terminals. Now there is a coolant line, a narrow coolant line here, which doesn't need to be disconnected basically, but there's another one right here, right there. You can see right there. So that you have to disconnect to be able to pull it out, and a little bit of coolant will come out. We'll top it up at the end. Okay, this is the one, disconnected it. Bit difficult, but with the pliers, a set of pliers, as you squeeze that whole thing, the clamp, and the flat head, you push it down, then it comes off like this. So it is like this. So as you press it, slide it down, and then with the flat head you can push it if it doesn't slide down. Use the pliers to wiggle it a little bit, wiggle so that it gets loose, and then pull it down. Okay, now pull it out and take this one out. Push it out of the way. We can disconnect that too, actually. It says here. This is how you wiggle when it's jammed. Rusted. And then you pull it out slowly. So now take these bolts off. To take the plenum off, it's 12 millimeter. Loosen them. Loosen. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 of these. Then the plenum will come off. Then we'll clean it when it's out of the engine compartment, because it's we don't want to put carburetor cleaner through this to the engine block. I want to clean it outside and dry it outside. So we took the bolts off. There are 2 nuts, careful not to drop them, and take these back connections off. This is the, you can lift it up, and this is the PCV valve, or positive crank ventilation valve. It should make a ticking sound. It's not. That means it's jammed inside. We have to clean this one, or you can replace it. It's very important for this thing to make that noise, ticking noise, which is not doing that right now. Anyway, so slowly lift it up straight. Move it away before too late. Cover this thing. Cover this. You don't want to drop anything through this. So loosen this knot, lock nut, these 2 lock nuts. Loosen this too so that you can slide it out. Don't loosen from both ends, just from one end, so that you know when you put it back you tighten from one end, holding the other side. So I think it's 12 millimeter range will do. It turns out that we had to slide it out basically, so keep this knot unmoved, the one that's towards the driver's side unmoved, and move the other side. You have to go all the way and then slide it out. Both of them. This is the cruise control. Yeah. So now it will come out easily, the intake. Or you can try to open these 2 screws, which we couldn't open. Okay, leave it on the table. So as we clean the PCV valve, the ISCs, and the pressure sensor, temperature sensor, the throttle body right here. We'll clean the throttle body, and we'll clean the intake manifold. Flip it over. So we'll clean all these. Here is pretty clean. Not bad. Check there is no crack or anything. There's no crack. All clear. Now just spray. This is the plate, throttle plate. Uh, Now there are channels in there, right there. That's the air passage. 2, 3. You gotta spray thoroughly in there. This one gets clogged always and easily, right there. So spray, let it soak, cool, clean over and over, and all these all this. So now use the flathead to take this off. It's almost clogged the line. So most likely this was the reason why car was lacking power despite having new timing belt, new spark plugs, new air filter. Problem is internal. So, but we'll go to the valve clearance as well. So the main reason why it's so dirty, the car had synthetic oil, tune up, everything. I think the main reason is this clogged PCV valve, which is stuck open, so it's a lot of fume from the valve cover area, which is supposed to be keeping down the oil part, supposed to stay below. It didn't. It sucked it right into the intake manifold. So it's very important to clean this as well, or replace it. If it doesn't move, then replace it. Okay, so cleaned it, close, cleaned it. Now every cylinder has its own channel, every cylinder. So if one is clogged, that cylinder will not have enough power due to lack of air, and that was the case here. Some of them were totally clogged, this side. So use a flat head, this flat head, or a thinner one. Actually we used even a thinner one to scrub it off together with the spray. So it's clean enough now, this side. Now we have to clean the gasket, or use a new gasket. Now I'll be cleaning cleaning this part. Spray in the inside the intake manifold thoroughly, all of them. Even if the carbon doesn't come off now, it will fall off in near future as you drive the car. This thing really it works really well. It breaks it down. Okay, so we cleaned it thoroughly. It's starting to get cleaner, looks cleaner, and also scrubbed this hole fully. And we clean the throttle plate. Move it. Now it's kind of clean. You can use a brush, toothbrush. You can use a toothbrush to brush the throttle plate. Now we'll flip it. Just a sec. It is the idle air control. Will not open it now, but that can be opened and cleaned as well. Okay, now these are the channels from this side. So look, they're all clogged. Previously I sprayed, so it's all soft now. There should be 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clean all of them. It's almost the engine was running at half power basically. And also clean all this up. Look what's in there. Clean all this up. And look here. There's the channel there. There's the hole. I'm gonna clean all this. Okay, bit by bit, clean. Use a screwdriver like this to clean all this. Okay, so we cleaned it. Spray this thoroughly all over. It's not fully clean, but it will clean up over the time. Carbon is broken now with this thing. Cleaned all this. Zoom in. Yeah, look, now this air passage is all open. It was almost fully clogged. And this passage, all these holes are now clean. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all 6 holes. The PCV, the ISC, idle air control, will not open it. It's cooled by coolant, but we cleaned it from this side. Actually wanted to show, bring it close. Wanted to show what came out of this. This is what came out of this. That area is like a lot of carbon, mountain of carbon. So the bad PCV valve does this also. Also not a good air filter can do this. To clean the throttle once again, you can open the plate and spray through the holes and use a toothbrush to clean it. Look what comes. In there. All around. Plate too. Very important is to clean the spray inside these holes. This to the ISC. You can also open these 2 hold down bolts and take it off, take this off, and clean it thoroughly, all the holes. For me, this one is clean enough now. So we'll move on to the next one. To take the throttle body off, which is this, from the intake plenum, to take these bolts off. I think it's 12 millimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 bolts and 2 nuts. There's the gasket. This thing will come off, and you can clean all those and put a new gasket, of course, and then tighten them again. Okay, now coming back to the engine, the intake manifold, spray. This is going to the combustion chamber. You can spray this here, not a problem. So just check this. Again, it's clogged. So scrub it off. Scrub it clean. Yeah. Them. Okay, so to change the spark plugs, these are the coils. You need Allen key to open these screws, disconnect these cables, and pull it out. Pull all 3 at the front and at the back. There are 3 here at the back. And to do the valve clearance adjustment, you gotta take the valve covers off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 bolts off, and the front cover comes off, and same with the back take off. Before taking this off, you have to take the spark plugs out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the rear head, and this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the cylinder, or number 1 cylinder, number 2, number 3 cylinders, number 4, number 5, number 6 cylinders. And to the valve cover adjustment, we have to have access to the timing belt mark, and this is the top hole here. What I'm gonna probably do is take this top cover off. It's a lot easier if you take the top cover off. Then it's a lot easier to see the marks if it's aligning or not. And to turn the engine, it's a lot easier to turn the engine if there's no spark plugs in. So we take the spark plugs out, and then it's easier to turn the engine counterclockwise. It's a Honda counterclockwise, either from the top, from the sprocket, or from the side bottom, from the crankshaft sprocket, or crankshaft pulley. Turn that. So anyway, we'll go step by step and show. So this is the coil. Pull it out. I disconnected and took the screw out. It's kind of tough. Check this. If there's any carbon track, too much carbon, then that's the problem. So we took the coils off, and I don't think we have to take the spark plugs out to take the valve cover off, but to rotate the engine, it's much easier if there's no spark plugs in. Anyway, we took these 5 bolts off. Let's see. You may have to pry it a little bit on the side to take it off. It's been sitting for a long time, so we'll work on it a little bit. Okay, so this is the flat head. Carefully on this side, go and pry it without damaging the head surface. Yeah, so it's soft. take it out. Yeah. So now take it out slowly. Make sure no dirt goes there, so carefully push this cover away, basically take it out. Okay, so this is the rocker arms. The valve clearance will be, this is the intake valves are towards the intake manifold. That's how to remember. Exhaust valves are towards the exhaust manifold. Usually, most likely we'll find exhaust are fine. Just the intake that needs to be adjusted a little bit. We pulled one spark plug out, and this one, number 4, very nice condition. That doesn't mean others are good, but there's no check engine light or anything, and fairly new spark plugs, platinum tape. So we'll put this one back on. To replace the spark plugs again, if we're just replacing the spark plugs, we don't have to change the take the intake plenum off. We don't have to take the valve cover off. We can just take the coil off and spark plugs out. If have your narrow long hands, then you can reach the back 3 as well without taking anything else off. I have done that. Okay, to take these spark plugs out after you loosen it, sometimes it's tough. You can use a rubber hose, or you can use its own cable. This is the trick. Own coil. Just you push it, it locks, and it pulls the spark plug out. Yeah, this is how to take it out. And when you want to put it back in, make sure you don't drop it. You drop it, if it lands on this electrode, you can change the cap. So instead of dropping it, you have to hold it on the side with your finger and slowly slide it and slowly place it at the bottom. That's it. Three, two, one. So now to tighten it, use your hand to do it first, finger tight. And do not keep it loose at the end, you have to torque it properly. Anyway, I will be doing the valve cover adjustment, so I'll keep it loose for now. So we found that one of the coils is soaked with oil. So the oil still needs to be replaced. So if this is the case, once you take the valve cover off, there's an oil ring, the O-rings that goes there. So better you replace those. If one is leaking, all of them will leak. So eventually, it's better to replace all the oil seals. You can replace the valve cover gasket at the same time, which is right under the valve cover. Like around this edge, the valve cover gasket goes. So it's on the other side of the valve cover that has it. So pull it out and put a new valve cover gasket. Torque it right when you reinstall the whole thing. To torque from center towards left and right outward. If the torque is not right, it will not work. It may leak again. Okay, so this is the back valve cover gasket. This is the back valve cover gasket, and better replace it because it's kind of, this is okay, but this ring, this is the one that leaked really hard. So once it hardens, it's gonna leak. So once you replace, you better replace all 6, 1, 2, 3, and the other 3 on this side. So, and we'll put probably new valve cover gasket as well. Didn't need to open these cables. It comes out, bit of struggle, but comes out. Be able to do the valve clearance properly. One primary condition is the timing, ignition timing has to be right. So we put a new timing belt before, and about 20,000 miles ago, and I think it's still fine. Timing is fine. Car hasn't had no problem starting or others. But one way to verify it is get a flexible rubber tube like this. Took the number 1 spark plug out. I'm gonna put it right in there. So it's sitting on top of the piston. So now as we turn the crankshaft, this will go up and down, and when it's at the very top and starts to go, it'll go up and then starts to go down again. Just at that point, there's the top dead center, or TDC. At TDC, we'll be checking this mark right here, through this mirror, through this gap. We'll be checking if the lines are marked, aligned or not. It should be aligned when it's at top dead center. Okay, so there's to rotate the engine, and you have to use this 15 millimeter basically fits the 19 millimeter fits the crankshaft ball there, and then you can turn it anti-clockwise. This axis is right behind the front passenger side wheel. So this is where it is. There's the tire. There's the axis. So you can turn it slowly. So as we're using the dipstick to figure out the top dead center position. Okay, yeah, no, go up. Yeah, wait. Okay, so this is how you can gauge too, but there are timing marks here. Now we have to check. Right through that hole. Okay, so we turn the engine, and as you can see, this is how to figure this out. Now, see, number 1 and number 5 should be at top dead center position now. That notch in there, right in there, there's a notch. So that notch is at the tape of this slot. Right here, it's aligned, and right here, use the dipstick basically carefully to verify it comes at the very top. So number 1 is at TDC right now. I think number 5 is also at TDC right now. There should be 2 at the same time, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, we'll adjust the number 1 now, which is You stand up. The intake, so loosen these two lock nuts. Before loosening, actually we'll measure the gap here. The exhaust and intake valve clearances can be found under the hood, right there. It's given right there. The intake is 0.22 inch, the exhaust is 0.30. That's the valve lash clearance.
Yeah. Which way?
Counterclockwise. Keep going. Okay, so it's turn the engine maybe a few times as you look through this glass and through the mirror to get used to like which one is number 1, which one is number 2, 3, 4, 5, like this, because it's a bit confusing if number 2 is inverted 5 or not. Like this is 5. Yeah, this is 5 for sure. Now this would be, can see clearly. Yeah, this is 1. Wait there. This is 1 for sure. Okay. Okay, now it's set at number 1, top dead center position, number 1, right there. You can see, kind of aligned, almost perfect. Now, what we did is used this stick to see if it's at the top dead center position. So it came at the very top, and as we rotated the engine, and then it started going down. As soon as it starts to go down, stop it there, back it a little bit, and so this is the top. And at this point, this rocker, these are loose. It's supposed to be. So that's the way to verify both intake and exhaust are all loose. So now we'll be measuring the valve clearance, 0.22 millimeters for this one. So check under the hood and set the right gauge. You can sometimes use have to use two thin ones to like add to go to the right number. Okay, so let's loosen this. So check the, it's almost good. It's a bit too loose, maybe. Bit too loose. So 10 millimeter. This is how you can use it to loosen first. Don't need any special tools. Okay, now you crank it tiny bit, hold it, see if it's too tight or, yeah, this is about right, not too tight. Yeah, slides fine, a little like snugly. Okay, now you can Make sure the entire inside that bolt doesn't move. Just tighten the nut. Good. Now do check, and you all, like this one has 24 of them. Remember, the intake is one measurement, the clearance. The exhaust is different, so for this one 0.22 and 0.3 millimeter, we'll be using different gauge for the exhaust. Finish the rest. So we re-gapped all the intake valve clearances, and the exhausts were all good as usually. Always Honda's exhausts are good. And this is the EGR valve. If you need to replace 2 hold down bolts with a new gasket. But usually EGR is good, but it's sometimes worth opening it and clean the tube. Lower intake manifold, there's the, I think that's the EGR line. So we cleaned it thoroughly. It was full of carbon, so as the upper intake, you saw that at the beginning, that it was full of debris. It's actually the EGR that caused so much problem. And we'll put a new PCV valve. We'll tighten the spark plugs, all the spark plugs properly, and we'll put a new valve cover gasket and the seals. I'll show it in a minute. Our valve cover. We'll replace the gaskets. To do so, this is the spark plug rings, goes around the sleeve that goes the spark plugs goes inside the sleeves. So to take it out is a challenge, and the best way to do the figure is use a flat head right here on the edge. The hammer tap, you copy the side right here bottom. Yeah. So tap, goes in. Now show. Now pry it slowly. Pry it out. There you go. The old one comes out. It's very hard, so time to replace it. Now clean this slot. New one, to put it in, use a little bit of grease. A little bit of grease around it. Notice which way it goes. It doesn't go this way. It goes, the closed side stays this way. And you can put a little bit of grease around it. Push it in if it goes. If it doesn't, then use a socket that's about same diameter. Hold it there. With the hammer, slightly tap, tap, tap. Make sure it's flushed. Nicely in. Okay, so we'll do the rest of it. These screws, these bolts has also this seal here. To replace this, you can cut the old one out with a knife and put some grease here, because it has to slide over it. So the new seal, slide it from under, lubricate it a little bit. Okay, and take the rubber seal off. the old one, throw it, new one. This new one, there are some bumps here, so that goes. There's a bump. The bumpy side goes in first, so we'll put it around. It's always good to use some gasket maker. Thin tab of gasket maker can be used, and then install it. So change all the 336 of this seals, 10 of this ring seal, 2 valve cover gasket, and then reinstall it. When you reinstall it, tighten the bolts. There should be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start from the middle, across, go towards the edge. Don't over tighten. Torque it right. Check the spec for the torque and torque it right. Okay, so we put the new seal all 3 and the around it. Usually you have enough light. Usually you don't. So usually rubber seals don't need any gasket maker, but you can put some silicone gasket seal if you like. I don't. This is new seal. So put the back valve cover first. Make sure the spark plugs are in and tight, and then the front one. After that, we'll put the plenum on, intake plenum on. We'll be done. So rest is reverse of whatever we have done so far. So we clean the EGR line, intake manifold. We clean the throttle body, adjusted the valve clearance, and we put a new PCV valve. PCV valve goes there, and we put a new PCV valve as well. Okay, so that's it. Please share and subscribe for many more videos. If you have any question, let us know too. We'll try to answer. I'll try to show you other things. So that's it. Good luck. So you put everything back together. Just the top cover is left. Everything went smoothly. Now we'll start the car to see if it starts fine. Remember, we put a lot of carburetor cleaner, so there's possibility it'll give some little bit of hard start at the beginning, and but it should start. So it's started very well actually. Didn't expect this to go right away. And so we'll just put the cover on. It'll be fine. So don't forget to subscribe and share if you like the video, and please share. It helps us. Take care.